Is the world around you getting a little bit fuzzier at the edges? Does reading the morning paper or a favorite book feel more like a chore than a pleasure? Perhaps you find yourself squinting to read road signs, or you've stopped driving at night altogether because the glare from headlights feels overwhelming. It's a quiet, creeping change that so many of us start to notice as we get older. We just accept it. We think, well, this is just a part of aging. My parents' eyes went bad, and now it's my turn. We get stronger glasses, we buy brighter lamps, and we slowly, without even realizing it, let our world shrink just a little bit. But what if I told you that a significant portion of that vision loss, that slow fading of the world's vibrant colors, isn't an inevitable sentence? What if it's a direct result of a nutritional deficiency that you have the power to fix, starting with your very next meal? It might sound too good to be true, I know. We're often told that conditions like macular degeneration and cataracts are just a matter of bad luck or bad genes. But a mountain of scientific evidence tells a different story. It tells us that our eyes are hungry. They are desperately crying out for specific, powerful nutrients that act like an internal repair crew, protecting and rebuilding the delicate tissues that allow us to see. The problem is, our modern American diet, even one we think is healthy, often starves our eyes of these critical building blocks. In this video, we are going to change that. We're going to bypass all the confusing medical jargon and focus on 4 incredible scientifically backed miracle foods. I call them miracle foods not because they are magical, but because the effects they can have on your eye health truly feel miraculous. We'll explore exactly what they are, the simple science behind how they work to fight the root causes of failing eyesight, and most importantly, how you can easily make them a part of your daily life. The goal is to give you the knowledge and the power to take back control of your vision, to see the world more clearly, and to protect your precious sight for all the years to come. Now, before we uncover our first food, if you believe that your health is your most valuable asset and you want to learn practical, proven ways to protect it, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and click that little notification bell. We share the kind of health wisdom here that can genuinely change your life for the better. And just so I can get to know you a bit, I'd love it if you drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. Are you in Florida, California, maybe somewhere in the Midwest, or even joining us from across the pond? It's always so wonderful to see how far our community of health-conscious seniors reaches. All right, are you ready? Let's dive into our first miracle food for restoring eyesight. The first food on our list isn't some exotic, expensive berry from a remote mountain range. In fact, it's something you've probably seen 100 times in the grocery store. I'm talking about dark leafy greens. Specifically, I want to focus on kale and spinach. Now, I can almost hear some of you sighing, greens again? But please stay with me, because when it comes to your eyes, these are not just ordinary vegetables. They are potent medicine. Here's why. Your eyes contain 2 incredibly powerful antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of these 2 compounds as your eye's own internal pair of sunglasses. They naturally build up in a tiny critical part of your retina called the macula. The macula is responsible for your sharp, central, detailed vision, the kind you use to read, drive, and recognize the faces of your loved ones. Lutein and zeaxanthin have a very specific job. They absorb and filter out the most damaging types of light, particularly the high-energy blue light that comes from the sun and our ever-present digital screens. Imagine you're standing outside on a blindingly sunny day. Without sunglasses, you'd be squinting, your eyes would water, and everything would be washed out in a painful glare. That bright light is bombarding your retina, causing what scientists call oxidative stress. It's like a slow, steady rusting process happening inside your eye. Over decades, this relentless damage wears down the cells in your macula, and that is the very essence of age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, the leading cause of blindness in older Americans. This is where kale and spinach come in. They are the single richest dietary sources of lutein and zeaxanthin on the planet. When you eat them, you are literally restocking your supply of these internal sunglasses. you are reinforcing the protective pigment in your macula, making it thicker and stronger, better able to shield itself from that damaging light. It's not just a theory, it's proven. The landmark age-related eye disease studies, known as AREDS, sponsored by the National Eye Institute, found that people with the highest intake of lutein and zeaxanthin had a significantly lower risk of developing advanced AMD. Think of it this way. For years, your eyes have been fighting a battle against the light without enough soldiers. Every time you eat a serving of spinach or kale, you are sending in reinforcements. You're giving your macula the defensive shield it needs to survive and even repair itself. It's one of the most powerful things you can do to halt the progression of macular degeneration. So, how do you get more of these into your life? It's easier than you think. You don't have to eat giant bitter salads. A handful of fresh spinach can be tossed into your morning scrambled eggs. It wilts down to almost nothing and you'll barely taste it. You can blend a cup of kale into a fruit smoothie. The sweetness of a banana or some berries will completely mask the taste. Sautéing them with a little garlic and olive oil makes a delicious side dish for dinner. The key is consistency. A little bit every day is far more effective than a huge amount once a week. You are building up that protective layer over time. It's not too late to start. Your eyes are ready to use these nutrients the moment you provide them. Now, let's move from the garden to the sea for our second miracle food. This one is all about protecting the very structure of your eye and fighting a different common problem: dry, irritated eyes. I'm talking about oily, cold water fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna. The secret weapon in these fish is a type of fat. Now, I know for many of us who grew up in the low-fat era, the word fat can sound like a bad thing. But there are good fats and bad fats, and the ones in oily fish are so good, they are absolutely essential for your vision. They're called omega-3 fatty acids, and specifically one called DHA. Here's the simple science. Your retina, the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye that acts like the film in a camera, is made up of a very high concentration of DHA. It's a fundamental structural component. If you imagine the cells of your retina are tiny bricks, DHA is the critical, flexible mortar that holds them all together, allowing them to communicate properly and stay healthy. When your diet is low in DHA, that mortar starts to crumble. The structure of the cell walls becomes weak and rigid, making it harder for nutrients to get in and waste products to get out. This cellular breakdown can accelerate vision loss and increase your risk for eye disease. Eating salmon or sardines is like sending a master mason to repair that crumbling wall. You are providing the exact raw material your retina needs to rebuild and maintain its strength and flexibility. But the benefits of omega-3 second don't stop there. They are also incredibly powerful anti-inflammatories. Many of the problems of aging, from achy joints to foggy thinking, are rooted in chronic low-grade inflammation. Your eyes are no exception. This inflammation can damage the delicate blood vessels that feed your retina. Furthermore, it's a major cause of a condition that plagues millions of seniors: dry eye syndrome. You know the feeling, that gritty, burning, sandy sensation where your eyes feel tired and sore all the time? This often happens because the tiny glands in your eyelids, called meibomian glands, become inflamed and clogged. These glands are supposed to produce a thin layer of oil that coats your tears and stops them from evaporating too quickly. When they're not working, your tears evaporate almost instantly, leaving the surface of your eye unprotected and irritated. The omega-3 second from fish help to reduce that inflammation in the glands, allowing them to produce the healthy oils your eyes need. Many studies have shown that regular consumption of omega-3 second can significantly improve the symptoms of dry eye, leading to better comfort and clearer vision. You're not just masking the symptom with artificial tears, you're addressing one of the root causes. I hope you're finding this information useful and empowering. If these tips are opening your eyes, quite literally, to new possibilities for your health, please do me a small favor and tap that like button below. It's a simple click for you, but it tells the algorithm to share this video with other seniors who might be struggling with their vision and feeling hopeless. It truly helps get this vital information out there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a perfect time. We have 2 more incredible foods to discuss, and you won't want to miss them. All right, on to our third miracle food. For this one, I want you to think about color. Think about the deep, vibrant orange of a carrot or a sweet potato, the rich red of a bell pepper, or the bright orange of a cantaloupe. These beautiful colors are not just there to look pretty, they are a sign of the potent, vision-protecting nutrients locked inside. These foods are bursting with 2 of the most important vitamins for your eyes, vitamin A and vitamin C. Let's start with vitamin A, which we get in the form of beta-carotene from these orange-colored plants. You've probably heard the old saying that carrots are good for your eyesight, and it's absolutely true. Here's why it's so critical, especially for your ability to see at night. Inside your retina, you have specialized cells called rods. These rods are responsible for your vision in dim light. To work properly, they need to produce a pigment called rhodopsin. Think of rhodopsin as the night vision pigment. It's what allows your eyes to adjust and see when you walk into a dark room. The key ingredient your body needs to manufacture rhodopsin is vitamin A. If you are deficient in vitamin A, your body simply cannot produce enough of this pigment. The result is night blindness. It's one of the first and most common signs of a vitamin A deficiency. That's why driving after dusk becomes so difficult, and why you might find yourself stumbling around your own home if you get up in the middle of the night. By eating foods rich in beta-carotene, like carrots and sweet potatoes, you are giving your body the raw material it needs to keep your night vision sharp and reliable. But that's only half the story for this colorful category. These foods, especially bell peppers and citrus fruits, are also loaded with vitamin C. We usually think of vitamin C for fighting colds, but it's one of the most powerful antioxidants for the lens of your eye. The lens is the clear structure at the front of your eye that focuses light, much like the lens of a camera. A healthy lens is crystal clear. A cataract is what happens when that lens becomes cloudy and opaque, like looking through a foggy window. What causes this clouding? A lifetime of exposure to sunlight and other environmental factors creates unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals bounce around inside the lens, damaging its delicate proteins and causing them to clump together and become cloudy. It's that same process of oxidative stress we talked about earlier. Vitamin C is a free radical scavenger. It circulates in the fluids of your eye at very high concentrations and acts like a bodyguard, neutralizing these damaging molecules before they can harm the lens. Think of free radicals as tiny sparks trying to start a fire that will cloud your lens. Vitamin C is the firefighter, constantly putting out those sparks. Major population studies have confirmed this. One long-term study showed that women who took a vitamin C supplement for 10 years or more had a 64% lower risk of developing cataracts. You don't necessarily need a supplement. You can get this protection directly from your food. A single red bell pepper has more than 3 times the vitamin C of an orange. A daily dose of this protective vitamin can go a long way in keeping your lenses clear for a lifetime. It's a simple, delicious strategy for holding cataracts at bay. Now, for our fourth and final miracle food. This one is small, but it is mighty, and it provides a protective nutrient that works in perfect synergy with the others we've discussed. I'm talking about nuts and seeds, particularly almonds and sunflower seeds. The powerhouse nutrient here is vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it specializes in protecting the fatty parts of our cells from damage. And as we learned when we discussed omega-3 second, our eyes, especially the retina, are full of delicate, fatty membranes. These membranes are highly vulnerable to attack by free radicals. If vitamin C is the firefighter that works in the fluids of your eye, vitamin E is like the security guard that protects the physical structure of the cell walls themselves. It integrates into those cell membranes and acts as a shield, stopping the chain reaction of oxidative damage before it can even start. It's like coating the delicate machinery of your eye with a rust-proof layer. This protective effect is incredibly important. The AREDS studies, which I mentioned earlier, were so conclusive that they led to the development of a specific supplement formula for people with intermediate AMD. That formula includes high doses of vitamin C, vitamin E, lutein, zeaxanthin, and zinc. It was found to slow the progression of advanced AMD by about 25% in people at high risk. This is mainstream medical science confirming that these specific nutrients work. And while supplements can be helpful, getting these nutrients from whole foods like almonds and sunflower seeds is always a fantastic foundation. A small handful of almonds as an afternoon snack or a sprinkle of sunflower seeds on your salad is all it takes. They provide that essential vitamin E shield, protecting the delicate cells in your macula and lens from the constant barrage of oxidative stress. When you combine the vitamin E from nuts, the vitamin C from peppers, the lutein from spinach, and the omega-3 second from salmon, you're not just eating food. You are assembling a comprehensive internal army to defend your eyesight from every angle. It might feel a bit strange to learn that the things you've been doing for years might have been unknowingly harming you, but remember, knowledge is power. Now that you know, you can make simple, powerful changes to protect your health for the long run. So let's take a moment and recap the powerful team we've just put on your side. First, we have the dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, loading you up with lutein and zeaxanthin, your internal sunglasses to protect your macula. Second, we have the oily fish like salmon, providing the DHA to rebuild the very walls of your retina, and the omega-3 second to fight dry, inflammatory conditions. Third, we have the brightly colored vegetables and fruits like carrots and bell peppers, giving you the vitamin A you need for sharp night vision and the vitamin C to keep your lens from clouding over with cataracts. And finally, we have the nuts and seeds like almonds, delivering the powerful vitamin E shield to protect every cell from destructive free radicals. Each of these foods is powerful on its own, but together they create a synergy, a protective force that is so much greater than the sum of its parts. Remember, the journey to protecting and restoring your vision isn't about finding a single magic pill. It's about the small, intelligent, consistent choices we make every single day at the grocery store and in our kitchens. Growing older is an inevitable part of life, but growing weaker and losing your senses does not have to be. With the right fuel, your body has a remarkable capacity to heal and protect itself at any age. I know how disheartening it can be to feel your independence slipping away as your vision fades. The fear of not being able to read to your grandkids, of not seeing the beauty of a sunset clearly, of becoming more dependent on others, it's a heavy burden to carry. But please, take this information to heart. You are not helpless in this fight. Hope is not a fantasy. Every healthy meal you choose is a victory. Every bite of spinach, every piece of salmon is a deposit you are making in the health bank account of your eyes. One meal, one day at a time, you are taking back control. Now, as we close, I would be so grateful to hear from you. Which of these 4 foods was the biggest surprise to you? Or do you have a favorite recipe that uses one of these eye-healthy ingredients? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. I try my very best to read every comment, and our community learns so much from each other's wisdom and encouragement. Your story could be the spark that helps someone else begin their own journey to better health. If this video has given you some value today, some new knowledge, or a renewed sense of hope, please show your support by giving it a thumbs up. And finally, if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button and the notification bell. We are building a community here that is dedicated to not just living longer, but living better with strength, clarity, and joy. We have so many more science-backed secrets to share for thriving in your golden years. Thank you so much for your time and your attention today. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and remember to feed your eyes. They are your precious windows to this beautiful world.